Are the Chicago Bears going to trade cornerback Jaylon Johnson before the 3 o'clock Central trade deadline on Tuesday? That is where we kick off today's show. I am Harrison Graham. Welcome into Bears Now by Chat Sports. According to a report from Benjamin Allbright, the 49ers, Cowboys, and Bills are all interested in trading for Johnson. He's been one of the top cornerbacks in the NFL this season and, of course, is in a contract year, set to enter free agency next year. And, of course, the deadline is tomorrow. And I've been clear, and I'm going to remain clear. I'm not trading Jaylen Johnson. I don't want to. He's 24 years old. He's still ascending as a player. You need to keep good players. I know you're 2-6. I know you're going to have to pay him. You may even have to pay him a little bit more than you want, but he's a guy worth keeping around. Other than DJ Moore, Jaylon Johnson, for my money, is the best player on this football team right now. Are there a couple others that could rise above him? Yeah, like a Darnell Wright, a Tevin Jenkins, sure. But Jaylon Johnson is a premier player on this team. I mean, he's given up less than 48% completion percentage when targeted. The QB rating of opposing quarterbacks when targeting Johnson is under 25. To put that in perspective, if you spike the ball as a quarterback over and over again, your QB rating is 39.6. He is not giving up completions. He's taken the ball away a couple of times. I just don't understand the thought process of trading this guy right now. Keep him. 3-year, 4-year extension. Let's go. Jaylon Johnson needs to be a part of this culture, this nucleus moving forward. And by the way, if you trade him, you still have question marks here. I like Tyreek Stevenson's potential, but it's been very up and down as expected as a rookie. I like Kyler Gordon in the nickel, but he's primarily a nickel. Terrell Smith, he was playing pretty good filling in for Johnson, but now he's got mono. You don't know what he's going to become. Now, I will say this. If a team gives you a first-round pick, that's an exception. Would I absolutely do it if it was the 30th pick in the draft, like if the Chiefs wanted him? Not necessarily, but that would be hard to turn down, I will admit. I just don't think that's happening. I don't think a team out there is going to give you a first-round pick for Jaylon Johnson. So if I'm the Chicago Bears, if I don't get that, I'm not trading him. Like, I'm keeping him and I'm paying him. At some point, you have to keep the few good players that you have. You traded Roquan Smith. You traded Khalil Mack, who was older. I get it. But, like, young, good, ascending players, you should not be looking to move on from those players if you are the Bears. Rebuild with those players. You've got over $100 million in projected cap next year. I hope that the Bears keep this guy, but we'll see. Things heat up leading up to the deadline, and we're less than 24 hours away, so I'm sure Ryan Pohl's phone has been ringing nonstop. Bills, Cowboys, 49ers, those are the three teams that appear to be interested. Now, what say you? Or predict it for us. Not what you would do, what you think will happen. What do you think Ryan Poles will do? If you think the Bears will trade Jaylon Johnson, type T for trade. If you think the Bears will keep Jaylon Johnson, go ahead and type K for keep. Let us know in the comment section down below when it comes to Jaylon Johnson. Today's show is sponsored by Factor Meals, America's #1 at ready-to-eat meal kit. Can help you fuel up with fast, chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your doorstep. If you're too busy to cook this fall, but want to make sure you're still eating well and in a timely manner, well, Factor Meals has you covered. Skip the extra step to the grocery store. Skip the chopping, the prepping, the cleaning up, all that stuff, and still get delicious flavor and nutritional quality that you are looking for. That is what Factor provides with their fresh, never-frozen meals, which can be ready in just 2 minutes or less. If you're looking for calorie-conscious options as well during the busy season, try delicious dietitian-approved Calorie Smart meals from Factor. Those have around or less than 550 calories per serving. These meals are really good. I've tried a bunch of different ones now. I've been on the Factor plan for a while. Delicious, healthy, and just convenient, if I'm being honest. 6-month-old at home. It's hard to find time to cook, hard to find the energy. Factor has you ready to go. Long day at work today. I'm going to go home, grab my Factor meal out of the fridge, throw it in the microwave. Good to go in just 2 minutes. So here's what you got to do. Go to factormeals.com/BearsChat50. Use code BearsChat50 to get 50% off your first order. That's code BearsChat50 at factormeals.com/BearsChat50. Check the comments, check the description, factormeals.com/BearsChat50. Here's an interesting trade rumor that's out there. Terrace Marshall, the Panthers wide receiver, third year of his rookie contract, Could he be a potential trade target for the Bears? There's a report out there that Carolina is allowing Marshall to seek a trade as he's kind of fallen out of favor there. Bleacher Report mentioned the Bears as a team that should trade for him due to the muddy future at wide receiver beyond this year. Obviously, they have DJ Moore under contract, but after that, it's a little bit sticky. These are the only wide receivers under contract in 2024. DJ Moore, stud. He's your number one. You feel great there. Tyler Scott, I like the potential, but obviously there's some unknown there. And then Velus Jones, barring something unforeseen, you can't expect much out of him. Darnell Mooney's a free agent. Equinemius St. Brown's a free agent. Trent Taylor's a free agent. And, even with those guys, even if we were to bring some of them back, I know Terrace Marshall's been a bit underwhelming, but you can make an argument at worst, even if you bring Mooney back, he could be your number 3. Now, I'm not advocating to be big-time buyers at the deadline, but you could buy low on a guy like Terrace Marshall, who is under contract through next season. Here's what Bleacher Report thought about this idea. They desperately need help at wide receiver, and the 23-year-old is signed through next season, so Chicago could add a young wideout who isn't a risk to bolt in the offseason. And I think it's a good point. It would obviously have to be cheap. We've seen a lot of these trades like, hey, we'll trade you a player and a 7th if you give us a 6th. So maybe the Bears could ship a future 6th to Carolina, get Marshall on the 7th back, where you're kind of just taking a flyer on a guy who, when healthy, has shown some promising things. He has had some injury concerns in his career. I thought last year he played pretty well. And remember, the QB situation in Carolina has been pretty bad. I know Bryce Young's there, and there's promise with him this year, but again, Marshall's kind of fallen back in the pecking order this season. I mean, last year, he gave them some big plays, 490 yards on 28 catches. That's well over 15 yards a catch. So I'm intrigued. Again, it'd be a buy low situation, not give it up much at all. More about just giving Marshall a fresh start. Maybe you get a look at him the second half of this season, and maybe he's got a chance to be your number 3, number 4 next year. I don't think trading for Terrace Marshall stops you from drafting Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, someone like that. But again, you're going to need some depth. Again, you only have 3 players under contract next year: DJ Moore, Velus Jones, and Tyler Scott. And other than DJ Moore, you've got clear questions. So, look, again, you're not actively buying here, but, late round pick swap for Terrace Marshall, I don't completely hate the idea. Subscribe and join us tomorrow for our live Bears NFL trade deadline coverage. We'll have updates of everything going on with the Bears, every other trade that's going down as well. Rolly and I are going to go live at 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 Central Time, with the deadline at 3 Central Time. We'll get you ready. Probably talk about some other stuff surrounding this football team as well. So hit that sub button. We'll have you covered here on Chicago Bears Now. All right, Justin Fields out against the Saints, and things are getting interesting, man. I'm not sure what's going on. Matt Eberflus already declared him out this week. He did say that the thumb injury is improving, but that he continues to work with trainers, with doctors, etc. Tyson Bagent set to make his 3rd start. And look, maybe I'm looking into this too deep. I don't know, but something feels off to me. The last 2 weeks on Monday, during the Monday presser, in classic Flus fashion, Matt Eberflus has said he's doubtful, he's day-to-day. He's basically said we're expecting Bagent to start, but Fields is doubtful. He's not been ruled out. This Monday, which, by the way, is later in the recovery process, you would think he's getting closer to being back, he's already ruled out. There's no chance Bagent's playing on Sunday. So did Fields have a setback? Was Flus lying the last couple of weeks when he put him in the doubtful category? That's very much a possibility. Or is something else going on? I don't think they're shopping him and going to trade him at the deadline. That would surprise me. I just don't see that being the case. But it feels off. Something feels weird to me. Why are you declaring him out? Now, maybe the situation is just, well, he dislocated his thumb, and there's just no chance he's going to play. And then again, it gets back to, why even put him doubtful the last couple of weeks? Just say, yeah, he's going to miss a couple of weeks here. He's not practicing. There's no chance he plays. But the fact that the last 2 weeks he's been doubtful early in the week, and now he's already out, I just have no other choice but to speculate. Something feels off to me. And look, just a theory. I'm not saying this is factual, but there's a lot of chatter out there right now. I thought the Bernstein and Holmes guys, especially Dan, went on a nice little rant today. I have a theory. I think the Bears, not for sure, but very possibly, have already made the decision that they're moving on from Justin Fields. Yes, the injury is absolutely real. You dislocate your thumb, you're going to miss some time. But it feels like to me a divorce is coming between the two parties. I don't know if an official conversation has taken place between Flus, Poles, and Fields in his camp. Maybe I'm completely off base here. Again, just a theory. I'm not reporting this, but something feels off to me. Like, this is not the same. And just the way Flus said it too, like it sounded different. Like, I feel like something more is going on there. I don't know, man. I don't have a good vibe about it. Bajent's going to play again, and who knows? I mean, maybe it's the Bajent show the rest of the year. I'm not saying that for sure, but something doesn't feel right. I think there might be a little bit more going on here. What do you guys think? Are the Bears done with Justin Fields? Type Y for yes, type in for no. Kind of feels that way. And, hopefully I'm wrong. I still want to see him play at least the rest of this season once he's healthy, but who knows if that's going to happen. All right, quick update on Jaquan Brisker, and kind of a complicated one. Very Bears-esque here, for being completely honest. Matt Eberflus announced that Brisker is in the concussion protocol, and you're thinking, concussion protocol? He's dealing with an illness, now he's in the protocol. What's going on? Well, here's the timeline of events. So last Sunday, after Brisker got banged up in that game, he briefly entered the protocol. He was cleared from the protocol by Monday, so passed all the tests, etc. Tuesday, he started feeling sick, so he was on the injury report all week with an illness. They ruled him out because he wasn't feeling great. Apparently, yesterday he was feeling better, but still wasn't feeling his best. And today, they ran more tests, and now he's back in the concussion protocol. Now, look, this is not a what the hell Flus. He's just explaining what's been going on behind the scenes. Like, I don't think this is one of those Flusisms that we've talked about before, but it's just classic, isn't it? Like, I have never heard of a player briefly being in the protocol, being out of the protocol, not being in it for a week, not playing, and then being back in the protocol. And look, number one, I just hope Brisker's okay because, like him as a player, he's got a concussion history. I think that's the concern here. And number two, you're just like, come on, man. I mean, of course this happens to the Bears. Just ridiculous. But I hope he's okay. Show Jaquan Brisker some love. He's one of my favorite players on this team. He just can't seem to stay out there for an extended period of time. So hopefully he feels better soon and is able to get back on the field. Type the 9s down in the comment section below to show Jaquan Brisker some love. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. Again, join us tomorrow. Trade deadline coverage. Rolly and I ready to get after it. 1 o'clock Central Time. So we will see you guys then. Bear down.